park so the media couldn't film them arresting them. Not only did George Bush, when attacked by his opponents, not only did he not close parks, shoo the media away, or anything like that, he never tried to silence them. He didn't respond to them. Has everybody so soon forgotten what was said about him when he just didn't respond?
This, Mr. Bush, is simple enough even for you to understand. You're a fascist. Get them to print you a T-shirt with fascist on it.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
President Bush said as recently as this week, the United States does not torture detainees.
That's not an accurate statement.
You believe the United States, under this administration, has used torture?
I don't think it. I know it, certainly.
So is the president lying?
The president is self-defining what we have done and authorized in the torture of prisoners, yes.
I don't think any of them are seditious. I don't think any of them are traitors. I think Jimmy Carter is a bad president. But that was in the 1970s. He's just still wrong to me. President Bush didn't send out his minions to attack MSNBC or try to drive Keith Olbermann out of business. He didn't send out to attack Hollywood. Cindy Sheehan camped outside his home in Texas nearly every single weekend. He didn't address it except to say that she had the right to be there. Now, the cries of sedition, traitor, anti-American, anti-government, just for speaking out. They even send their goons to the tea parties to shut down legal, peaceful protest in the street. Barack Obama has pushed the most radical agenda in history. He's proud of that. He got health care passed despite a huge majority of the American people vehemently opposed to it. They are proud of that. But at some point you want to try to heal the nation. I mean, look, if you have to do something your kids don't like, you say, we're doing it. That's it. Get in the car. But at some point you sit down and say, kids, I know you didn't like that. And you try to heal. But no. After that division, we have another divisive fight. Now he's trying to jam at least two more wildly divisive issues down our throat. First, cap and trade. Cap and trade is the biggest socialist scam, totally discredited climate change industry and zero warming for over a decade. Zero warming for over a decade. Wait until I don't want to say too much. Don't miss an episode. Then you have the comprehensive immigration reform bill. As violence and drugs and chaos spiral out of control on the border, the president's wife goes down to Mexico and says it's perfectly fine and safe to go down to Mexico. And what happens? What is it? 56 gunmen go into a hotel this week? Start kidnapping people? It's not fine to go to Mexico. Mexico and the border is on fire. I feel bad for the people of Mexico. Their government is corrupt and out of control. You want to see your future? Then the opposition to that agenda rises, and it's shouted down. We're called racist, whatever, and divided even more. It's not even about the issues anymore. It's not. Everything is compared to the civil rights movement. Everything. If you stand against it, you're a racist. Everything is about the fundamental transformation. Look, our government has been transforming for a long time. This isn't about Barack Obama. This isn't about the Democrats. This is about everybody. Our system is not working because we haven't been doing our system for about 100 years. We are on a progressive nightmare train to hell. And our system isn't even smearing people anymore. It's training people to hate thy neighbor. We have to stop that. Martin Luther King talked about no matter how much they hate, you treat with respect. I haven't done that. I have to. It's going to be hard because people confuse the truth with hatred. Do not confuse the truth with hatred. I do hate the things that are being done to my country, but I don't hate the people involved. And when I start to feel that anger rise up in me, quite honestly, I pray because of a scripture that I read that talks about the Lord will turn away from you. That's not what we're supposed to do. Here's what I think we're supposed to do. We have to use our free speech and go in the other direction. We cannot spread messages of hate. We just have to spread the truth. And have faith in the American people that when they see these things, when they see actual videos, the people themselves saying the things that you've been saying all the time, and the evidence is there, American people will wake up. We just have to have faith that justice will prevail, hope in the truth, and charity for our neighbor. Exercise your freedom of speech while it still remains without somebody else being able to read all of your emails. Use Twitter, use Facebook. In fact, I want you to get on right now. We have this. I want you to write this. I want you to spread this. You print this everywhere. You put this as much as you can, everywhere you can. You write these words: not racist, not violent, just not silent anymore. Put the message everywhere you can. Back in a minute.
Do you ever lie awake at night and think, man, I just wish I had a juggler on hand to help me explain the role of government interference in our lives? Yeah. Or maybe just a big pile of monopoly money to make sense of foreign debt. Lucky day for you. Look no further. Just record this show or DVR it every day at 5 p.m. Eastern. I mean, I'm there for you, baby. You know what I'm saying? Ooh. I think I made most of the audience just throw up in their mouth just a little bit. There's nothing like a little Glenn after hours. Did it again. Remember, midnight snack and a side of me. They took away my M&Ms and they replaced them with grapes because of the war on chins. I am grossing America out like crazy. Make sure you join us every day. DVR or record the show, 5 o'clock Eastern.
Talking about freedom of speech tonight and how swiftly we are losing that right, I believe. Just have to be vigilant. Do you remember when this current administration publicly declared war on Fox News? It was back in October, and they said they would treat us like they would treat any opponent. It was right out of the playbook of another White House. Now, you may remember this, but if you're a member of the press, I think you've forgotten. So I ask members of the press, please, watch this very closely.
My fights with the media, of course, are legendary. It goes back a long time. The media and I are not friends. It is not personal.
In the 1970s, America had a lot of enemies to be concerned about. We were fighting a war in Vietnam, and the Cold War was in full swing with the Soviet Union. But to the 37th President of the United States, there were also very serious enemies to worry about on the home front.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Or excuse me, Mr. President. Hi, Mr. Haldeman. Do you want him to wait?
No, I'm on. There would be no interviews with the New York Times under any circumstances within the Pentagon Papers. And no man from the Times will ever be in my office as long as I'm president. That order is on, and it is final. The same is true of Time, and the same is true of Newsweek. Is that clear? Yep. Hello.
Mr. Ziegler, sir.
Hi, Ron. Yes, Mr. President. I want it clearly understood that from now on, ever, no reporter from the Washington Post is ever to be in the White House. Is that clear? Absolutely. Is that clear? Yes, sir. None ever to be in. Now, that is a total order, and if necessary, I'll fire you.
It was the worst of times.
Don't get the impression that you aroused my anger.
I have that impression.
See, one can only